I always pause a little bit. I never know when these actually start. Good afternoon, Dr. Elena Sherwood here. I'm a relationship coach. I was a licensed couples therapist for 35 years, and I do a lot of content here on YouTube. And so I'm very glad that you are here. If you're catching us on a replay, stick around. Let me know you were here. Little thumbs up, little heart, whatever you got. And anyway, welcome. So today I have a topic that I would like to cover because it is one that I see more often than I would like to. Here it is, today's topic in response to: how do you know if you're too sensitive or if the marriage itself is the problem? Let me know if this is something that you're going through right now or something perhaps that you experienced at some point. When I look at this question, I want to go ahead right away and say, if you feel like it's very easy for your nervous system to kind of get kicked up. Like when I read this question, it sounds like somebody whose nervous system is quite activated. And I am certain that there is a good reason for that. For many people, they say this actually is saying, because this could be really confusing sometimes. He's not hitting me. He's not cheating. So why do I feel crazy? Again, your nervous system. This could be anything from maybe, you feel like your hands are clammy. You feel like you've got this lump in your throat all the time. You feel like you're kind of on guard around your partner. You feel like, or maybe even just thinking about things in a calm moment, your relationship pops into your mind and you go, and so, okay, thank you for the comment. This has definitely crossed my mind. I am living with an alcoholic husband. I am certain that this activated nervous system must be somewhere in your range of experience. And I am deeply sorry that that's how life is right now. So I did address a lot of this in my most recent, in a recent video. And the video of that was titled, where is it? Ask him this one question. It reveals everything. And you're thinking, okay, what was that question in the video? Okay, well, this was the question I put in the video. It's worth watching, by the way. I will make sure to link it here at the end of the video and also in the comments. Here's the question. I've been feeling really lonely in this marriage. Are you feeling it too? That's it. This is what I wish for people to be able to comfortably, or at least attempt to say to their very significant other. It's an opening, it's a reaching out, and it's worded so it's not meant as an attack. And of course, we can't control how people are going to respond to that. And so when we think about, is my marriage in trouble or am I just going crazy? Because, there are no obvious signs. I didn't find a hotel receipt in our credit card statement and, any of that. I don't have bruises, any of that. See, sometimes things are wrong without looking like they're wrong. When I think about this question that I pose, I've been feeling lonely in my relationship. Are you feeling it too? How your partner responds is where you can see what the problems might be that can't seem to be all that tangible. They're not bruises and they're not credit card statements. And so when you say something like that, it really depends on if your partner has the emotional capacity to receive this statement. Obviously, this isn't something that, we just kind of throw out there in the middle of the chaos of your life, pick a calm moment, pick, a time where it's not bedtime, the kids aren't running around. And so if they respond with, yeah, or I don't know what you mean. Tell me more. If there is curiosity or at least some interest, that's important. That tells you that you are, in fact, not alone in your marriage. And they may fumble a little bit with this. They may be a little bit awkward and a little bit confused and say, what do you mean? Like, give yourself some, allow some leeway for letting them kind of absorb this. Maybe you have to say it in a different way. But the what I'm looking for is the pattern that you will see is your partner can be with you emotionally, emotional capacity. So here we go. So back to how do you know if you're too sensitive or if the marriage is the problem? Here we go. So in that video, I talked about the second pattern about what happens when you reach out. And I call that the attention hierarchy, as in, are you even a priority? Because for many people who are having a difficult time in their relationships, when they reach out, they don't get anything back. It doesn't mean it's actually mean. It just might, when you say, are you feeling this too, this loneliness? And the response you get might be, And are you saying I'm neglecting you? Or are you saying, it becomes kind of about their feelings and what you said isn't being received at all? So again, that's what I call about the attention hierarchy. It's really all about, it's all about them, and they can't pay attention or focus on your emotional state. Thank you for the likes. I'm glad you're here. So the third pattern to look for when you do reach out, which tells you a lot about why your nervous system might be overstimulated or overactive in a relationship that doesn't feel good. The third pattern to look for is when you do reach out, that they pull away. They're gone. They're out of there. Maybe they're not like physically leaving the room, but it's like, sorry, this is work. I got to deal with work right now. This is way more important, or, I'm, this kind of like exiting. I'm exiting this little moment you're trying to create here. I'm out of here. We're not doing this. That's kind of the non-response response. You get a response that isn't really a response. So this is why many people feel like something is wrong in this marriage and I can't pinpoint it. That's what it is. You maybe are feeling like they're not reflecting the emotional capacity for you. They are not. You're not high on their attention hierarchy. And the third one that I talked about is you get non-response responses. So when you pull that all together, a person, watching things, if this were a movie, it might not be obvious, like especially if you're watching it on sort of mute or very low volume, like, But what we're missing is what it actually feels like to be in this relationship. So when we go back to how do you know if you're too sensitive or if the marriage really is the problem or the long-term relationship, there you go. If your nervous system is constantly on overdrive, just to deal with how things are, just to deal with each other, and maybe not even while you're in the room, maybe on your way home, or when they're on their way home, like that sort of thing, that tells you that no, you're not too sensitive, because if you are seeing any of the patterns that I've mentioned here, you will now understand that's why. It's not that I'm too sensitive. I just have a high, accurate BS meter. My body doesn't like it when I lie to myself. And I'm pretending that everything is okay, but in all of my cells, in all of my being, something doesn't feel right. And so, no, you're not too sensitive. Your experience so far has made you alert. Just so you know, being on alert towards your significant other is not a good sign. It's not. So I've answered that. Here's another reality check that I want to talk about, because people are saying, well, what if they just can't? What if they just can't? How do I even know the difference between can't and won't? How can I even tell? Because, I had a hard day. Life is busy, this and that. We got bills, we got problems, we got all of that. They can't, right? Well, if they can be respectful and emotionally present for others, if they can do that, then what they're doing at home is a choice. They are choosing to not be there with you presently, emotionally. And so can't or won't. If they can do these things for other people, if you're at a party and your special person is like the life of the party and hugging everybody and warm and complimentary and noticing little details of other people and all of that, okay, it's not that they can't. Clearly they can. They can pay attention to others, and they are able to receive others. They are able to be with others. And so, can't or won't, if they could do it elsewhere with anybody else, with at work or with the friends, if they can do it there, they are choosing not to with you. That's harsh. It sounds harsh. Even as it came out of me, it sounded harsh. And it's a little bit, maybe a person might say, that's oversimplifying it. Perhaps. But it sure gives you a picture, doesn't it? If you have any questions as you watch this, feel free to leave a comment below. But I want to close with this line. I spent a lot of time on this line. Sensitivity is not the problem. Your nervous system is just reading data that your mind hasn't caught up to yet. If you have not subscribed to this channel, now's a great time. I come on weekly as best I can, and a new drops on videos every week. I thank you for spending your time with me. I always consider it an honor to hold space with other people who choose this. So I am glad you're here, and I will see you in my next video or live again on my Thursday slots, noon Eastern Standard. Thank you.